For today.
Yeah, shout out to one of my moderators. You know me, that was the topic that she picked for me to talk about self love. And I can never get enough of that topic anyway. So I said, let's do it.
Okay. Look, what's his name?
Yeah,
Shannon Sharp was getting some of that self love.
that's what the streets are saying.
Oh.
Yes. But let me give the people a quick little rundown about Mr. Jesse right here. He is from Cape Cod, but now he's a transplant to LA. Yes, West Coast. Okay, he has also hosted Stranger Things After Show, Bad Girls Club, Love and Hip Hop, first ever podcast. He has also worked on different reality shows, which include Bachelor, Perfect Match, Love is Blind, just to name a few. He is also the owner of Next Digital Production. So if you have a small business that you want to promote and grow, definitely hit him up. He is on society. Woo! Also, he is passionate about new music and helping others. If I missed anything, go ahead and take it away and give some people extra insight into you.
No, you did good. It's called Next Mood Swing. So it's a podcast, but it's a network. So I have shows underneath it, but you guys can check it out at Next Mood Swing on YouTube. I've taught myself how to build a website. So the website's coming next week with the first merch drop. If you're a barb, you might like the first merch drop because, I'm a barb at heart. So, with all the Nikki hate train, I was like, we gonna support Miss Minaj. And plus, I'm going to see her next week. Okay. Look, what's his name? Shannon Sharp was getting some of that self love.
That's what the streets are saying.
Oh.
Yes. But let me give the people a quick little rundown about your first thoughts when it comes to self love.
I think it's always been a hunt for me, you know. And this year is definitely the year of that for me. Actually, I would say, like, honestly, I've been on this journey since, like, I went through something really traumatic in 2017 that changed the course of my life, career, everything. And I had a lot of shame and guilt that came along with it, caused by another person. And so kind of dealing and navigating through the lens of a toxic person that I took on to myself. So, I've been doing therapy, meditation, journaling, and that's kind of where I've done podcasts for 15 years, but doing Next Mood Swing, the whole point of Next Mood Swing is to really be authentic and sharing our authentic selves. Because I think that is something in the day and age of social media that we tend to put on this like mask for everybody. And a lot of times we can get caught up in the sauce and,
Right.
and compare ourselves to others or think we're not doing enough. And we don't really realize how that, being on that every day, just by sometimes even just sitting and scrolling, how that can affect our self-love if we're not working on it. So I love that. I love the topic because I am a huge advocate for self-love. And, it's something that literally me and my friends talk about. I've really catered my group of friends to be people who that is a strong sense of who they are. They're working on themselves. They're reading. They're watching different types of content. We can do the ratchet stuff. We can watch,
Right.
love and hip hop and all that stuff. But we also have to understand what else we have to pour into ourselves when we are dealing with certain stuff.
Got you.
Is like, again, I'm very authentic. What you see here is the person that I am. If I'm talking to you about something here, I'm not going to switch it up, as soon as I get off of this. And working out here in entertainment, you experience that a lot because a lot of people are out here trying to be on camera or whatever, and just trying to figure out, like, who are you? What can I get? What can I get out of you? So they put this mask on, like, hey, buddy, what's up? Like, and you think someone's your friend, and really
Right.
year into it, you're like, is you really for me? You know what I mean? Is you really like for, the authenticity that I'm trying to create here with you? So I think it was something that took me, honestly, I feel like it took me 7 years to really like build a core group and figure that part out of LA, of like what people, how to navigate LA in that sense of like who's authentic, what, even understanding what that mask that I just talked about was.
Right.
That was something post, and you hear it a lot, but it really is true, because on the East Coast you can sense just by the first talking to someone like, oh, that I ain't mess with this person and they don't mess with me, and you'd be like, carry on, but there's no hard feelings, you know what I mean? You still see the person, you still be like, what up, but like that's it. You know what you're giving people. Out here it's like that, like, child. And if people, what I also notice about LA is like some people in the industry, if they notice that you really love yourself and they don't, they will spot kids themselves into your life to figure out, well, wow, he's so happy. Why he doing this?
Yeah.
That is like a trip for me, because I really feel like that is something that I've experienced only in LA.
Yeah, I feel like we're on our
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And that's exactly true, because I met you one time on a live and it was just an instant. I was like, oh, I messed with her.
I love my girl Brittany. Shout out to Brittany, y'all. She's amazing.
Brittany's everything. Joe said facts, period.
Right. Okay. So besides journaling, any other tips or tricks that you use for your self-love to really build that up?
I mean, I think you've seen me do it, but like I have this like ritual. I don't like want to say ritual, but it's like I got really into incense and scent. I think that it's like, we read and that stimulates our mind. We, sleeping, certain things with textures and eating food. Sometimes, that can be a state of peace. But two things I actually did that have changed my life is, one, I bought a projector instead of a TV. And that helped me because the TV is such easy access to just always have on or turn on. Right. Where a projector is like a moment, and what the projectors kind of led me into is, instead of putting a show on like while I'm working, I'll put on like a soundscape. So it'll be like a vision of like, the ocean, finding new scents and seeing what scents work with each other. Yeah. Like, which will lead into, I'm making some shea butters that are real cute.
I love me some shea butter.
Ooh, well, I'm definitely going to make sure you get some, because that inspired me to actually want to do the shea butter kind of stuff. So yeah, little side projects, focus on.
Hey, when it comes to LA, you gotta have your projects, okay?
Okay.
We do multiple things. We got like 10 jobs.
And that's what I do love. That's the thing. Like, even though I say that about LA with people, LA does inspire you to like do those extra hobbies. We're like back home, it'd be like you work the 9 to 5, or you're like in that lifestyle, and it's like I'd be tired when I go home back on the East Coast, and it's like, and a lot of friends weren't as motivated to be like, yeah, let's make shape.
Other questions is, what is some of your boundaries that you have placed when it comes to self-love? Because I feel like when you love yourself, you have boundaries. So what are some things that you had to either enhance or kind of really say, hey, this is something that I'm not gonna let anybody like change or move?
For this year, honestly, and I didn't even plan to do it like this, but like I've always been the guy who, I mean, my friends are my friends from like growing up. When I make a friend, it's like we family. Right. But they're from all different walks of life, and so a lot of my friends would always be like, I would always be like the core person, and all these people would meet each other through me, and I was always that. But this year, I had to like really learn boundaries, and I learned it from that bad relationship in 2017. But it translated over to friendships. And this year specifically, I feel like I've really been hanging out with my friends individually versus like doing group stuff like this year specifically. And what that's kind of helped me do is kind of discern like which energies make me feel good after I'm done. You know what I mean? Which energy, when I'm done with whatever, do I feel full from? What do I feel like? Okay, I felt like we talked for like 3 hours, and now I.
So I'd be praying for the good mood of the customers, a good day at work, that everything goes well there. That's like my second one. And then my third one is before I go to bed, where I download everything that's been going on from the day and say, hey, take this away from me.
Okay.
Yes.
Grant me patience.
Yes, that too. All right, yeah, I think that's pretty much it for me. If you guys in the chat have any questions, let me see if my friend is still on because I was gonna bring him up as well as a guest. So Tony, if you still in the building, free to come up and give your thoughts and opinions of what you heard tonight and how you.
All right, guys, if you can follow Next Mood Swing. It's on Instagram, TikTok, but really YouTube. That's where all the shows are. Also on like Apple, iTunes, Spotify. Next Mood Swing. I'm really excited for the website. I've been working hard, and also shout out to Foodie Blog. Yes, give God the glory. Okay, period.